Hello, welcome back to the Ultimate Swing Trader videos. In this video I'm going to take you through a trade we just had, really just closed out yesterday, and it was a short trade on the pound yen. In this case I'm looking at a 30-minute chart. Another time frame we really like to trade on the pound yen is the 610 tick. So in some future videos I will take you through some of the other time frames that are available to you as well, besides just time intervals. There's some great trading on tick intervals as well. But I wanted to kind of show you just how straightforward this method is, and that I think is really one of the secrets to successful trading, is to trade a method that is crystal clear on the chart and is not really prone to a whole bunch of subjectivity and maybe even guesswork on your part. You need to know exactly what makes up a setup. I think that's obviously critical. But then from there, you need to know what is the trading plan. And I think you can see if you came in on the night of, in this case, June 21st, which was just earlier this week. So in this case, it would have been, the Sunday night, Monday session. And the chart looks just like this. You would have on your chart the exact setup to go short, which I have as this little dashed line here, and a potential to go long on this little different dashed line here. Now I've kind of got two different styles of horizontal lines because it's going to help us track the trade once it triggers, either short or long. The other side of it is going to end up being our protective stop. So you're going to notice that we're going to have, for instance, if we were to go short here, we're going to have a target 1, a target 2, and a target 3, and a protective stop here. One thing I want you to kind of pay attention to is the ratios that we're looking at. And what I mean by that is, if you notice what I mean is, so here's my potential risk on the trade, okay? So you kind of have an idea of what the value might be in there. Now look at what the targets are going to be. Well, there's a first target here. That's an equal, right, length, basically an equal amount of pips to what my risk is. That's a 1-to-1. My second target, though, look how large my second target is. This is a 2-to-1. My third target is a 3-to-1 reward to risk. And we're really typically on this strategy targeting either a scale out here, here, and here. That's one approach, or a scale out here and here, or a strategy if we're just going for, in this case, let's say one position, one contract, we use this as our exit. So you'll notice no matter what, you're always going to have a very positive reward to risk, as much as 3-to-1, on average 2-to-1. So really nice. And again, notice again, very specific parameters. Okay, this is probably going to be a lot different maybe than some of the other methods that you've been seeing out there where it's not like this on the chart, where it doesn't spell it out for you crystal clear. This is the reason that you can come in like we talk about and trade in 10 minutes a night. Take your setups, make any changes you need to, and then all you really have to do is the next day just check on your trades, just see what's transpired, see if you need to trail your stop any, go ahead and make that change, and then you're done until that night. So let's go ahead and proceed forward on this chart and see how we ended up doing on this trade. So I will just start to scroll forward here a little bit. And you can see right here, we triggered the trade. Now the time on this was about 10:30 New York time at night. Now for some of you, you might be up at that time, you may not be up at that time. It depends upon where you are in the world. It doesn't matter. At this point, I've placed my trade, I placed my stops, I placed my targets from here. I'm just going to let the trade do what it needs to do throughout the session. Okay, so you can see at this point, we kind of really went nowhere. 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Now again, you can imagine if you're trying to be a day trader, a lot of you are probably waking up in some parts of the world for this European session. This probably would have driven you crazy this day because there was just no movement. It was up and down, very tough session. As a swing trader though, I'm just short. I've got my stop up here. And you know what? There's nothing that really happened. It doesn't really matter. I mean, sure, it's always wonderful if it'll just spike down to huge targets. But in this case, it doesn't matter because, again, I'm taking a very structured approach. I'm not sweating it the entire night, the entire morning, into the U.S. session here. Again, it's doing better. It's trying to work towards my first target. And that was a pretty significant first target. I mean, you might be thinking, we're looking at a 20 pip drop. No, I'm talking about a 168 pip drop on this is what I'm looking for my first target. That's another thing. A lot of people trade this pound yen or don't trade it because they're very worried about the spread. And I don't blame you. On a day trade, you can't go for a 20 pip spread on this market when you might have a 10 pip spread or an 8 or 9 or 10 pip. If I'm going for 168 pips on my first target, I'm really not sweating the spread, right? At that point that I might pay 8 or 9 pips. So here I am the next day. actually the next night, I actually hit my first target, 168 pips on that one. The rule then says drop your stop to break even on the balance of the trade. So if I'm scaling out, I've taken 168 pips, and the balance of my trade is now break even. So from that point, I'm looking, of course, I'd love to get to the second target because that's going to be over 300 pips, and sure enough, this happens. Now this happens at 2:30 in the morning, New York time. I guarantee you where I live as well, I'm not up at that time. So again, I had my stop, my break-even stop in place. I had my limit order going, and then all you have to do is let the market do what it needs to do. We don't, again, have to sweat this move down, this move back up, this move back down. The only thing I need to do then is the next morning, we'll kind of show you, we'll kind of go in here, is I need to make sure that I move my stop down, per the rules, to what we call our 1x level. That's our first target. And that means right here, I do take myself out for a profit. So I'm on this one, I'm not going to get the third target, but I'm going to get 168 pips here and over 330 pips here. Not bad for less than 48 hours. And really the amount of work that went into this was fairly minimal other than taking the first setup and dropping the trailing stop twice. And you know, how long does it take to go into your Forex broker and just hit a cancel replace and lower your stop? It's about the best work you can do when it's a trailing profit stop. It feels really good to put in those 30 seconds. And then obviously at that point, I'm out. Now, sometimes they break down to the third target, and hey, that would have been great. But in this case, it didn't. Now, you may see this new setup that came along, right? That one late afternoon. I ignore all this because I'm already in a trade. I'm not trying to overcomplicate this. I'm not like, oh, geez, now I got a new setup. I need to take that too. No big deal at all. We just ignore it. We're in our original trade. We take that original trade until completion, and when it's done, it's done. So that's the way this works in a slower, more broken down process on the pound yen. As you can see, it really probably just took a few minutes each day to make this trade. Not every trade, like we always say, they always go exactly how we want to? They always reach the 1x, the 2 target, the 3 target? No. Do some trades stop out? Yes. But I think what you can see is you've got a very structured approach. The trade setups win definitely at a higher percentage than they lose. And even more important, the reward to risk is as good as 3-to-1. It's on average the 2-to-1 level. So think about it. If you're winning more than you're losing, and you're making up to a 2-to-1 ratio over what you're risking, the math really plays into your favor. And we always try to say, you know, people look for the holy grail, and they always think the holy grail of trading is winning 100% of the time. The holy grail of trading is winning more than you lose and making more when you win than you end up losing when you have a losing trade. That's the secret formula to trading. And one of the nice things about the Ultimate Swing Trader is it does it in just a few minutes per day. Even better, that you don't have to have the massive workload. So I'm going to wrap this video up here so we don't go too long. Keep coming back. Don't forget, you can always ask questions in the blog. Leave some comments, ask some questions. We'd be happy to provide you with some more information. I'll also give you some of the ongoing results with the pound yen, which is made up of all the trades, winners and losers, since we launched, I should say, the Ultimate Swing Trader. And I'll have that in the message post as well. And then in subsequent days, we'll be looking at more of the Forex currency pairs, all your favorites, as well as even showing you how this works on stock and futures. And it works exactly the same way you're seeing here on Forex. So thanks for joining me today, and we'll be back with you again either later today or the next session.